Hey, how are you? My name is Julio with Kipos Bookkeeping, and in this video, I wanted to talk about integration apps. We have to bring in data from Shopify into QuickBooks. Therefore, we need integration apps. Now, it might be difficult to find an appropriate one. Depends on what you do, your business, depends on how big you are. So I wanted to talk about this because it's an important part of e-commerce bookkeeping. There are some things we have to keep in mind when we pick an integration. So again, the point of the integration app is to bring in data from Shopify into QuickBooks. But there are some things we have to consider. For example, when we in the Shopify side, as we can see in this slide, we have the sales, right? We have the total sales. We have refunds, we have returns, and sales taxes. And on the QuickBooks side, the QuickBooks Online, we have the deposits. So when we say deposits, these are the net deposits by payment processor. So this means that there's going to be a difference between the Shopify numbers and the QuickBooks numbers. So we have to reconcile them. We have to be able to, when the money we see deposited into the bank, we have to add back all the different things that happen throughout the month, right? It could be the fees, it could be, sometimes we have returns or refunds. So we have to take that into account when we look at the Shopify numbers and the QuickBooks Online numbers. There are some things we have to keep in mind when we choose an app and what the app is supposed to do and how we want it to work within our business, right? So when we choose an app, we should choose one and work with one that serves our needs, right? So we don't need detailed transactions brought into QuickBooks. This can create data dumps, and it slows down QuickBooks and making it much harder to work with. If we can have summarized transactions, summarized data, maybe daily transactions put into QuickBooks, that would help a lot because QuickBooks can't handle too much data. And if you bring in data into QuickBooks, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna slow it down, and it'll just be a headache to work with. So we also have to keep in mind that we have to break up fees and deductions. We have to reconcile the amounts. We have to reconcile the amounts from Shopify and QuickBooks. And some important is that we have to have the correct mapping. Now, mapping means that the accounts should go, from the same account in Shopify to the same account in QuickBooks, right? Meaning that if you're using payment processors, let's say from Stripe, they should go from the Stripe account to the Stripe account in QuickBooks, right? Also, I wanted to talk about inventory because sometimes, depending on how big you are and how big your inventory is, the amount of products that you have and how much and the quantity, sometimes it's better to track inventory outside of QuickBooks. QuickBooks could have limited inventory features. So if you're big, then maybe a different app to track inventory, or you could just do it manually, right? That's why it says depends how big you are. Again, we need summarized transactions. This way, it's easy to work with, and we don't need too much detail in QuickBooks, right? So the app that I recommend. So the app that I'm more familiar with is A2X. A2X is a connector app from Shopify into QuickBooks. Brings in daily summarized transactions. There's no data dumps. This way, QuickBooks will run smoothly. Of course, this automates the processes for you, but we have to be careful that this is not a bookkeeping replacement. You still have to keep track. You still have to keep on top of it, right? Let's see how it works. So how does it work? It integrates with Shopify and different selling platforms. You can connect payment processors, and like I said, it's important to have it mapped into QuickBooks correctly, and it just brings in transactions into QuickBooks, right? It helps by automating the process, track sales and payment processors, and it's mapped into QuickBooks with account categories. While like A2X automates the process, brings in data from selling platforms, you can track sales, daily transactions into QuickBooks, and no data dumps. right, so some things that we have to keep in mind also, we could be selling products in different platforms, right? We could be using Shopify, Amazon, we could be using sometimes Facebook or eBay, Walmart. So we have to keep that in mind that we'll have to do reconciliations for all of this. So the integration app, it's critical for these areas. We also have to keep in mind payment processors. We could be selling through Shopify payments. We could be using Stripe, PayPal, or different selling platforms, and we have to reconcile for each sales channel. For e-commerce businesses, we use clearing accounts to help with timing differences. So we have to keep that in mind as well. And of course, we also have to capture fees. So this is the A2X website. We can see here that it's an accurate automated e-commerce accounting integration. You can integrate from different selling platforms like Shopify, Amazon, Walmart. All of these transactions go to A2X, and then they go into either QuickBooks or Xero or Sage, whatever accounting software you're using. So all the data goes into A2X, right? And then, like I said, it gets posted into your accounting software, which could be Sage or Xero or QuickBooks. Connect your channels with QuickBooks or Xero, save hours on your monthly bookkeeping, grow profitable with financial visibility. Right, let's see what else. A2X transforms and categorizes sales, fees, taxes, and refunds, and more into organized summaries that reconcile perfectly into QuickBooks or Xero. So you can see here how it works, right? So the transaction type, the account, and the amount. Amazon sales, you can have the Amazon sales account, and the amount. And that's why it's important to map it correctly, because when it goes into QuickBooks, it should go into the account that it belongs to, right? You don't want eBay going into the Amazon account, or you don't want your Shopify going into the Walmart account. So each account should be mapped correctly. You can see all the things that the Amazon sales, the shipping income, tax collected, reimbursements, and then all the deductions here: refunds, fees, promo, advertisement, whatever else you should subtract. Accurate accounting, more data, better decisions. It's important to have good decisions for your business. You don't want to just calculate things in your head. Connect your channels and accounting software. Walmart, QuickBooks, Etsy, Shopify, eBay, Xero, Amazon, Big Business, Big Commerce. You can connect it with Xero or QuickBooks. So there's another one that I wanted to look at. It's called WebGility. WebGility is a little more complex. It's maybe for like bigger, if you're a big store that has a lot of inventory. E-commerce automation and analytics for QuickBooks. Sell in more places with less effort and fewer errors. So this is another good option. QuickBooks, Walmart, BigCommerce, FedEx, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and Amazon. So it's important. This is important to have integration apps, because imagine all this data with no route to come in through to QuickBooks. Everything goes into WebGility or A2X, and then it gets transferred into QuickBooks, organized and summarized, and with not detailed transactions, but detailed information, right? There's no data dumps. E-commerce accounting, inventory, and pricing. So maybe WebGility would be a better place if you want to track inventory instead of using another app for inventory. If you have a lot of products. So WebGility, it's also a good one. Depends on where you are, in your you can see it also integrates with ShipStation, UPS. And another one, the last one, it's WebLink. WebLink e-commerce integration nightmare solved. When an order comes into your store, you and your team get to work. Enter the order in QuickBooks, notify the fulfillment center, update your email marketing system, update QuickBooks again, then order shipped. Sound familiar? FlowLink can help. FlowLink lets your systems talk amongst themselves while you focus on the fun stuff. Orders get handled and handled fast and correctly every time. So those are integration apps. Like I said, it's very important to have them because you need the information to flow through an app and then get posted into QuickBooks. And of course, you have to reconcile them. You have to, like I said, you have to reconcile each selling platform, sales channel. Integration apps help automate, but unfortunately, as of yet, they don't replace bookkeeping or a bookkeeper. So it's important to have one for your business. This way, it helps keep your bookkeeping in order. So yeah, those are integration apps. Something to think about, something to maybe if you don't have one yet, to implement in your business. And if you have any questions regarding integration apps, need help choosing or need help bookkeeping, let me know. You can also leave your questions in the comment section below. There's also links where you can reach me. My name is Julio, and I'll see you in the next video.